Hello viewers, sorry there's no funny intro today, basically not feeling particularly great and also just a little bit of restriction on time, which is why this episode did not come out yesterday. But we are back with another episode of the FIFA 23 Derby Career Mode, and as you can see, we're in 10th in the Championship and a fair way behind the league leaders. All we need to do is just try and keep winning games and pick up points. I said in the last episode what I wanted to do was basically try and be there or thereabouts and have a good run of form towards the end of the season. We kick off today with a trip away to Kenilworth Road to take on Luton, and in all fairness, it's just a game that I did not get going in. What I have done, and thank you very much, I believe it's Andy Terrell in the comment section, sent me over some sort of defensive instructions that he thinks might help me with my defending, which we all know is my biggest issue. It doesn't help though when the goalkeepers do this. Borjan, I mean, it's 33 minutes in, it's a very, very tepid game to be honest. And it's a good finish by Adebayo, but you have to do better as a goalkeeper there. If you look at his arms, it's like Jordan Pickford T-Rex arms. He doesn't even try to move them. It's just a really poor finish. And goalkeepers on the game this year are so frustrating because they're so inconsistent. It was a very poor game, like I said. I feel like the defensive instructions did make me slightly better at the back, despite what that got up in there, but that's just an unlucky bounce, which you can't do anything about. But it did compromise my play going forward. So I really tried to focus in this episode on trying to be better at the back, and as you can tell, failed miserably. And a very quick game. Normally, obviously, I'm packed full of highlights in my games, but I just didn't create anything. They had 5 shots, we had 2. That was literally it, to be fair. Nothing too exciting. And it's not a theme throughout the entire episode, but the instructions that I did set did help defensively, and you can tell it does kind of markedly improve as the episode goes on. But the biggest problem was just going forward. All the kind of play that I've been so good at recently just kind of fell by the wayside. And I decided to make a change with Borjan coming out goal. I was going to give Blake Daniels another go between the sticks. Chamiti also got a rare start to this, and Ricky J. Jones has been performing pretty poorly all the way through. And we host Coventry, and to be fair, Blake Daniels makes a very good start with a smart save within the first 5 minutes. We did kind of shore up a little bit at the back after that though, and you can tell here that the goalkeepers are sort of on one. Their goalie made a brilliant save there to deny Kenneth Brentford just inside the box. And we applied in a lot of pressure in this game actually. It was the first game I felt like we were really kind of in control of it. Suddenly they're hitting a deflected effort wide. Coventry had a few counter-attacks, but nothing awful, but everything they threw at it, Blake Daniels was equal to, and he did impress me a lot in this game, so maybe there is a bit of a future for him. 0-0 at half-time though, not the most impressive sort of performance so far, but it does get a little bit better as Brenner, love that, as he hits a kind of 30-yard pile driver there, which the goal is equal to. And you can tell here, I thought it was going to be one of those days. We had about 3 corners in succession where we tested the palms of the goalkeeper, but he was equal to everything. Maybe they're straight at him, but for a championship goalkeeper, you do expect there to be a few mistakes, and he just wasn't making any. But Kalic plays in Sibley, who then feeds into Brenner, and he finally gets his goal. He's been peppering the goal all day, Brenner. And if there's one guy I can rely on to finish in this team, it is definitely him. It's a good finish, to be fair. You can see a lovely first-time ball from Sibley. And he just manages to cut it just back past the defender, because I thought it was going to be blocked. Everything else was sort of either being blocked or saved in this game, so I was a bit concerned. And that put us on a good path here as Brenner does some brilliant pressing work up front, reads the defensive play with a poor touch. And what about that for a ball? Straight into his strike partner, Chamiti, who was dangerous all day as well. He makes the right runs, Chamiti, he just doesn't really finish it that well. But that time he does on his wrong foot, puts it past the goalkeeper and ran about 4 yards out. Delighted it's not 4 yards. Actually, it's near on that, just about 6. Yeah, very impressed with Chamiti actually. He had a very good game, and I think he might become a bit more of a regular fixture. But this is me, and this is FIFA, so you know what that means. Even though they basically did nothing all game, what happens? They score. And Blake Daniels can't really do anything about that. It's a wonderful shot on his left foot, right into the top corner of the net. A bit disappointing. I went and searched for a third to try and just kill the game off, really, as I normally do. But like I said, it just wasn't quite flowing. And while I really enjoyed the fact that I felt a bit more defensively solid, as Jones here gives misses an absolute sitter, it does come at the sort of the expense of my attacking play. I don't know if it does affect it, or if it's just a mindset thing. Maybe I was just in that thing of I just don't want to concede, so I was a little bit less risky. But ultimately, we got the 3 points against Coventry, which is a welcome return to a little bit of form. But it wasn't the most convincing performance, let's put it that way. And we needed to be a bit more convincing in the next game against Swansea City, who are doing slightly better in the league and can provide a little bit of problem because they've got some decent players. We did make a pretty good start though, to be fair. You can tell here around about 15 minutes in, Tanganga plays in Brenner, who just darts towards the edge of the box, does a wonderful little turn here, tees it back, and then Palmer, who also got a starting block in today's game, as Sibley's not really been in the best of form, hits it straight against the defender. But this is really the pattern of the game, to be fair. This is what I mean. Like, the defensive tactics are pretty decent, but it just feels like a lot of teams know to really defend well against me. I mean, that's pretty obvious, but it is in packing the box, and if I can't really get space in behind, we don't really have the quality to sort of break teams down, and that's something I've really struggled with. Nathan Ferguson was also playing it, and he was really unlucky in not to score. The goalkeeper completely fumbles it, and somehow it falls back to him. But from this very poor kick out from Bender, the goalkeeper, Miezovic nods it onto Palmer, but it's a good ball through to Chimita, and like I said, he impressed him today, and that's a great first time touch and then finish. Very impressed with the young Portuguese forward in today, and you can tell that means quite a lot to him there. It's a really big goal for him. He's trying to fight, obviously, with Ricky J. Johnson, like starting there alongside Brenner. There is a strong possibility that I might go in for a better striker in the January, but if he continues to improve like this and get goals, then maybe, just maybe, I don't really need to. After that, we decided to put on a little bit more pressure. When I go 2-0 up, I feel very confident of getting the result, and I thought that might have been a handball there as they deflected Brenner's shot. But unfortunately, I brought on some subs and it completely changed the path of the game. Ricky J. Jones gives the ball away here. Michael Obafemi hits it, and it's a decent save by Borjan. I forgot to put Blake Daniels in goal. I won't lie, it's something I'm going to do in the main team management screen. But this is a piss take. It's a brilliant first time ball, and Michael Obafemi, tell me how you can defend that. If anyone can explain to me how you defend that, that would be ideal. The only thing I can think of is that Jankovic gets a little bit drawn to the ball, but I'm not the one playing, as if it's the AI. So there's nothing you can really do, to be honest, in that situation. It's possibly one of the best goals, technically, I've seen this year. It's such a great ball, indefensible, and it's a brilliant finish by Michael Obafemi, and it's not really something that you expect. And unfortunately, that undeserved equaliser would be how the game finished with 1-1. I really struggled with the substitutes after that. You can tell I gave him a few chances. We had slightly better ones, I'd like to think, but ultimately a draw is what we get. It's not the end of the world, and it helps us remain a little bit of an unbeaten and doesn't kind of dent the confidence too much, but it's not great, It's not great. We went back to the normal full-strength starting lineup, but instead of Jones, Chimita was up front because of, obviously, his goals in the last 2 games. I tried to make a little practice myself here that I would try a little bit harder, just to be a bit more risky in this game as Bird hits over there, so I tried a few more long shots. Bird here, the ball slightly lets Chimita down, and I could have squared it, but in the end it was kind of a cross-to-come shot and nothing really. He should have done more with that. Palmer was playing well as well, to be fair. Him and Sibley, Sibley's not really played that well all year, and Palmer was really doing well mixing the play together. He's got a little bit more pace and a little bit more guile than Sibley. And Max Bird was making some really decent runs into the middle of the box to test the goalkeeper, which I thought was a bit of an improvement, because I thought that he'd not really done anything here. And Palmer does a really good turn in the box and just can't quite wrap his weaker right foot around it. I completely dominated Reading for the entirety of the first half, and of course, that means that they go ahead. And it's about to happen is Abrefa plays it into Puskas. He plays a good ball back. Levy completely just does no defender. I don't even want to talk about the near post. The near post might as well be the Pacific Ocean with Borjan or any FIFA keeper that is a human-controlled one. Is there? How in the world has it got through that gap? It's ridiculous. Kyle Levy scored completely undeserved, and Reading took a 1-0 lead into the half-time break. I was absolutely fuming by this point, because it's one of those days. I mean, you saw me in the last episode. I felt it was a day where FIFA wasn't really giving me anything. This was another example of it today. 4 shots there, the one time that they actually get into the box and shoot, they scored. Absolutely ridiculous. And then to add insult to injury, their goalkeeper started having absolute blunders. Even as does really well here to find Chimiti. That's an outstanding save, considering how close he is to goal. But we weren't to be deterred. Palmer plays a good bit of football here and hits a good shot, but again, another great save by Southwood. Absolutely ridiculous. I haven't seen Borjan do that once, to be fair, this entire season. But we do finally break the deadlock as Brenner gets in behind, and naturally the only player I can rely on to finish is Kenneth, and it's a lovely finish into that far corner. Good ball. When we get in behind, we score, but it's when you're trying to play the ball around in front of the defence, we really struggle with that. It's something that I definitely need to look into if we're going to improve going forward. The 3 minutes of added on time, and even though we tried to push through, it didn't quite work. We survived a handball scare there with Jankovic, but ultimately, again, not good enough. Normally a point away at the Majewski, not bad. But in the context of how we've been playing this season, not very good. You can tell that we had 7 shots to their 2. So make of that what you will. Ultimately then, that's left us in no better position than we were at the start of the episode. We are still 9th, and we have actually dropped points and dropped ground on Burnley, who are now a good 14 points ahead of us in the championship race. Obviously, we hauled that back last year against Ipswich. I can't see it happening again this year. Burnley are a completely different kettle of fish. The good thing is that we're only 3 points off of the playoffs, and we're not too far away from getting our kind of conversation back in there. We just need to pick up some sort of form. Hopefully we've got some easier fixtures coming up. But then having said that, I've played a lot of the big boys already, and we're just struggling against the kind of mid-table teams. But this is what happens in the Championship. It's a very difficult league. Sorry, it's been a very quick one today, but I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you have, then please do drop a like on the episode, share, and subscribe. And until I see you again for another one of the Derby Career Mode, take care of yourselves, everyone, and stay cool.